This video will explain how to fill out the initial ROB report, which is essential for correct reporting. ROB is the abbreviation for remaining on board and is designating consumable quantities at a specific point of time. The quality of bunkers is very important for a ship to ensure safe operation of the main engine and to comply with MARPOL Annex 6 on stricter sulfur content regulations. Bad bunkers are detrimental to engines and can cause disputes between owner and charterers. It can also lead to port state control detentions and huge fines by authorities. SmartLog Desktop allows seamless reporting of fuel consumption to all stakeholders for reporting, compliance management, and performance analysis. The first two are covered by the Compliance and Reporting module, the third by Performance Tracking in the Hull and Machinery module. Compliance and Reporting covers Log Abstract, CII Emission Monitoring, Charter Party, MRV and IMO DCS reporting, as well as EU emission compliance. Performance Tracking is located in the Hull and Machinery module, together with other analyzing tools. When using SmartLog Desktop for the first time, it is mandatory to complete the initial ROB report. It is of vital importance to keep accurately track of ROB figures for each fuel type to ensure that the reported data will pass verification by authorities. Inconsistencies in ROB figures may multiply over time and create additional work when cleaning up data to prepare for annual emission reporting. Therefore, the initial ROB should be correct from the beginning. SmartLog's automated ROB calculations are designed for ensuring accurately track keeping and minimizing input errors. The input of the bunker data starts immediately after the shipmaster data section. First, information about the creation and the bunker delivery place is needed. By scrolling down, you will get a summary of fuel, lubricants, and freshwater ROB information. Initially, these tables are empty. Next will be the input table for fuel ROB information. Make sure that you have the necessary information for the different bunker lots available. Most can be found on the Bunker Delivery Notes BDN. Create a separate column for each bunker lot. By clicking on the Add Item button, you can add a new column for the next lot. One of the new features of this software version is the support of biofuels and biofuel blends. The input scheme is identical to other fuels. SmartLog is adding automatically additional input fields for the blend components and compliance with regulations. Once the fuel oil quantities are filled in correctly, press the Send button to transfer the data to the FOSS cloud. Now continue with the lubricants and fresh water in the same way. When finished, press the Send button again to transfer these data to the FOSS cloud too. Confirm the pop-up window. The initialization is finished. SmartLog is tracking now automatically the consumption with every report and is transmitting the data whenever a report is sent to the FOSS cloud. Before finishing the tutorial, let's have a closer look to the use of fuel consumption data and bunker information. As mentioned before, these data are made available in the Compliance and Reporting and the Hull and Machinery module. We will go quickly through the different pages for a better understanding. Depending on your FOSS subscription, it might be possible that some modules are not yet available in your setup. We are starting with Charter Party. Charter Party starts with a fleet overview. A click on a vessel's name will provide more detailed information. If required, an overview for a time period can be selected. This can be either a predefined value or exact dates. Typically, the Charter Party includes speed instructions and corresponding fuel consumption limits. The fuel and bunker information transmitted by SmartLog Desktop is used for the consumption calculation. Next comes the Emission page. It is dealing with the calculation of the Carbon Intensity Index, CII. Like Charter Party, it starts with a fleet overview, giving the average CII rating of the year to date or of the full last year for all vessels of your fleet, both as diagram and as a table. A click on a vessel's name will open a vessel-specific page with a trend overview and voyage-related information. These are Carbon Intensity Index, Average Efficiency Ratio, Distance, Total Fuel Consumption, CO2 emission in general, and CO2 emission in port. The Emissions page offer an export function for documentation to authorities. The report can be created either for full years or the year to date. EU MRV and IMO DCS are both requirements for emission control and monitoring. MRV stands for Monitoring, Reporting and Verification and is required by the European Union. DCS is the abbreviation for Data Collecting System, required by the IMO. The MRV and IMO DCS page starts with a fleet summary. If you only want to get the reports for the Classification Society, this page is your one-stop shop. First, you select the relevant year, then you select the vessel by clicking in the checkbox, and the required information is prepared for download in the Microsoft Excel compatible file format CSV. You will get two files, the bunker history and a detailed log file with the vessel's voyage and consumption history. For a more detailed look, it is necessary to change to the vessel-specific page. Therefore, click on the vessel's name. The layout of the page is depending on the selected classification society. Two options are available, American Bureau of Shipping and Det Norske Veritas. We start with ABS first. The relevant data are presented by means of a time span or for a full year. Information is sorted on 4 sub-pages, a summary of bunker delivery notes, voyage-related information according to IMO DCS, then according to EU MRV, and, at last, EU port stays. For DNV, only 2 sub-pages are available, a summary of the bunker delivery notes and the vessel's voyage and consumption history. The gathered dataset can be exported as 2 CSV files, same as before on the fleet summary page. The EU Emissions Compliance page is a brand new product. It calculates automatically the greenhouse gas intensity and the estimated costs resulting from the EU Emission Trading Scheme. The requirement to measure the greenhouse gas intensity is resulting from the Fuel EU Directive, which entered into force in 2023. To boost the use of renewable and low-carbon fuels, the greenhouse gas intensity should not exceed the limits defined in the directive. The EU Emission Trading System, or EU ETS, sets a limit to the total amount of greenhouse gas which can be produced by shipping. The currency for emissions is emission allowances. A certain amount of allowances is for free. For values above these, shipping companies have to purchase additional allowances. If these requirements are not met, heavy fines are imposed. The aggregated costs are shown per vessel on an annual basis in the fleet overview, or in a more detailed way, with costs split up per voyage in the vessel's view. Like on the previous pages, a download of all data is possible on this page too. The last page is the log abstract, which is a summary of all voyage-related information gathered in the FOSS cloud. It starts like the previous pages with a fleet overview. The display of data is depending on time settings. You can choose between preset periods or a time frame, defined by fixed dates. By a click on a vessel's name, a default set of vessel-specific data will be displayed in a chronological order based on the SmartLog reporting. On top right corner, you will find means for display of information. You can change between reported information and plausibility errors. Plausibility errors indicate inconsistencies in reporting, which require checking or corrections. Next comes passage selection, which allows the display of data related to a single passage. The display area below the general settings includes tools for the selection of reported information. Predefined groups can be selected or deselected by a mouse click. The horizontal ruler on the bottom of the page allows to scroll through the data. The log abstract data can be downloaded as Microsoft Excel compatible file format. You can choose between the data you have selected before or the full set of raw data. Performance tracking can be reached via the Hull and Machinery tab. It shows the vessel's fuel consumption in comparison with speed, loading condition, and environmental data. When looking on the individual vessel's data, maintenance events, as far as available, can be shown as overlay for an in-depth analysis. This allows, for example, the comparison of the vessel's performance data compared to the design data or before and after maintenance measures. The outcome will support you in data-driven decisions for future operations. Like on the previous pages, performance tracking offers the option to download the selected dataset for documentation as a PDF file. This will conclude our short excursion to the FOSS dashboard and the use of fuel data. In the next video, you will learn how to create different kinds of reports and how to work with SmartLog Desktop in daily operation.